Hello everyone, Spidey Fist here, and it has been requested that I make a tutorial going over the basics of driving in the Crew MOTORFEST, so I'm just going to walk you through how to drive, and then you can come out here and you can practice, and you can get better. I am here on the blue track at the MOTORFEST grounds, and what we're going to do is we're going to start right here by this ramp, and I'm just going to walk you through it. First, we are just going to be working on the gas and braking. So we're going to accelerate here. And what we're going to do is we are going to stick to the outside of the lane. And then whenever we start getting closer to our corner, we're going to start braking here. I'm only holding brake, and then I'm going to apply gas to get the rest of the way around the corner. Now, whenever we have a tighter corner like this, we are going to make small adjustments with our turning, and then we are going to lightly let off of our gas or lightly tap the brake in order to help increase the tightness of our turn. For the most part, you can actually just hold as long as you hit that corner right. You might not even have to apply any brake, but we are going to get to the inside of this corner and then emerge on the outside. If you have your driving line turned on and you're playing in a race, it's going to be a good idea to just follow that driving line, and we're going to cover that here in a little while, but for now, we just want to make sure that we are accelerating and braking separately. You can also just release your gas in order to slow down and not have to hit the brake at all. By doing that, you're going to be able to maintain a higher speed, and you're going to be able to save your braking for those times whenever you really need to apply your brake in order to get through a tight turn. So, speaking of turns, we're going to talk about cornering a little bit. The basics of cornering are just like I said a second ago. We are going to go from the outside of the lane to the inside of the lane to the outside. What I mean is currently my car is on the outside of the lane. I have a left-hand turn coming up, and my car is over here on the right side. I'm going to accelerate towards the inside of that point, and then I'm going to hug that, and I'm going to come out on the outside of the lane. We'll do that again. I'm on the outside, I'm coming to the inside of the turn, and then I am emerging on the outside of the lane. If you are following your line's going to do all of that for you. It's going to show you where to go. I like to have the line on just because that keeps me from getting lost in Rally Raid, for one thing. But for another is by using that line and following that line, it helps to develop good habits for while driving in the game. Next, we're going to talk just a little bit about your nitro use. What you're going to want to do is at first, whenever you're doing this, until you really get the hang of it, save your nitro for whenever you're coming into these big straights. So I've got a straight line here. I can hit my nitro, help to get up to a higher speed, and then now I'm getting ready to slow down again. So many people want to go as fast as you can, and then they slam into the walls, which causes them speed. Do not be afraid to use your brake. Don't be afraid to slow down and then speed up and go as fast as you can on those straights. Next, we are going to go over controlling the vehicle in sand or in the dirt, because whenever you're driving on that, you have a tendency to start drifting. Okay, drifting is a very good way to get a nice tight control over a corner. However, if your drift starts to go a little bit wild and you find yourself going too wide, what you can do is you can actually tap on your nitro in order to tighten up your turn. And then if you've lost control of your drift and you're just drifting wildly, you can use that nitro just by little taps, and you can get back in line with where you were trying to go. Next, we are going to go over the basics of how to use your handbrake. Now, in a lot of racing games, you're going to use your handbrake all the time to start drifting around corners. However, in this game, your handbrake is very powerful. And if you are using it, you are going to lose a ton of speed. So because of that, we are only going to use our handbrake on corners that are sharper than 90 degrees. What I mean by sharper than 90 is if we drive up here and we look at this corner here, this is a little bit tighter and a little sharper than a 90. So if we are going fast around that corner and we don't use our handbrake, we are going to have to slow down way back here. So if we're already hitting over 100 miles an hour and we try to slow down to take this corner, we're likely just going to end up sliding out into the grass over here instead of hitting that corner. So instead what we'll do is we are just going to inside, outside, inside to outside, we'll hit our handbrake, and that'll help us hit that corner. If that corner is less than 90 degrees, that is the only time that we are going to try to use that handbrake, because it will bring you all the way down. It could stop you completely using it, and we don't really want to go to a complete stop in a race unless we have to in order to hit a corner. Now, the reason having good turn control and understanding your acceleration and braking and everything is so important is because every little mistake that you make will cost you a ton of speed. So if I get up to speed here, but I start hitting these poles, every time I hit a pole or if my wheel goes off the road, I slow down. If I come over here and I start tapping this wall, you lose so much speed every time that you take a wall to the face, right? So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are staying on the track and we are keeping control of our car. Because if we can come over here and we can go to the outside and then we can pass over to the inside of our corner, we can hug that corner, we stay off the walls, we stay on the track, we maintain so much more speed coming through these turns. That's going to help you get better track times. It's going to help you stay in front of the AI and help you to catch up with those players who are just insanely good at this game. Okay, now we're going to put it all to use, and we are going to follow the line in a race. I'm going to explain the colors real quick. Of course, green means go, yellow means to slow down, and red means stop. So I'm going to accelerate here along this green line, and whenever I come up to this corner over here, it's going to turn yellow, and then it's going to turn red really fast. That tells me I need to slow down quickly. So release gas, hold brake, steer out, apply gas again, and I have now taken that corner. Whenever you first start, and if you are in the learning phases, make sure that you're following that line. You can even make the line brighter if you're having a difficult time seeing it. But the closer you follow it, the better you're going to learn these tracks, and that does make a big difference. How well you know the tracks is going to be something that plays into how well you do on the tracks. Because at first, everything's going to kind of be a surprise. Every sharp corner, you're going to have to be trying to figure out, well, what's the best way to take this corner? What's the best way? What's the best car? How should I brake? But after a while, you're going to understand the tracks, and you'll be able to go through them with no issue. You'll know what cars are best for what tracks. And then you'll also learn where you can get away from the line, where you can start cutting corners, or you can cut through the grass to increase your time. But all of that comes with practice. So the last thing I'm going to say is get in and practice these races. Go through. I do have all of the settings turned on because I know a lot of you newer drivers, either to just racing games or to this game, I know you're driving with all of your assists on. So for this video, I've had my assists on in order to, I guess, show you exactly what it's going to look like whenever you're playing. And then as you get better at the game, you know, you can keep it right where it's at, or you can change up your handling. I do have another video where I go over all of the handling settings and all of the assist settings. But that is going to be it for this video. I really hope you liked it. If you did, please like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. If you have any questions about anything that I didn't cover, feel free to ask. But that's it for this video. I'm Spidey Fist, and I'm out of here.